Hey besties, I have some book recs for you today. My inventory has not arrived, so I'm going to show you some items that I've never shown before on my recs. All these books are available in my shop right now. I like to create these rec videos for anyone that is a reader and maybe you're just looking for someone new to read. And also for those of you that are brand new readers and don't know where to start. So these are my opinions and I hope it helps you. Let's start with some good old JT Geissinger. This is a story of Kimber. She is a seamstress. She has a little shop and she's about to marry the man of her dreams, the man that she's been dating for the past 3 years. But within the span of like 3 days, she loses absolutely everything. Her fiance left her at the altar, her business burned to the ground, and she got word that her dad, who lives in Italy, is dying. She travels to Italy and there she learns that she also has a wicked stepmother. She discovers that her dad, who is a fashion designer, had a shop that was failing miserably. But thankfully, there is another designer that wants to buy the shop. But then she realizes what life that she has to go back to. So she decides that she's going to stay and she's going to get that shop back and running in honor of her dad. Enter Matteo Moretti, owner of said fashion designing company that wants to purchase dad's shop, a rich motherfucker that is used to getting whatever he wants. They have instant chemistry the moment that they meet, but she's not interested because she just got out of her relationship and he is not used to being told no. Their chemistry is impeccable though, and it gets very spicy, spicy enough that there is a scene in a changing room. Matteo Moretti's an asshole, but I love him. It is a yes for me. This town 24 years ago, a little girl, 14-year-old, was abused and unalived. And the entire town could not believe what happened. It kind of traumatized everyone. And it was even worse when the guidance counselor from the girls' school confessed to the murder and the abuse in extreme detail. And he accepted life without trial. It's now 24 years later, and true crime podcaster Trinity Scott is looking into this. She starts investigating and questioning several people in the town, and turns out that the guidance counselor may not have done it. People in the town are nervous, they're scared, and they're lying. And we want to know why. It is written in such a fantastic way. Loreth and White never disappoints, and it is actually based in a true story. So it is an absolute yes for me. Who knew it was going to get to a point in my life where I will love a man with a mustache? It's the story of Theodora. She just lost her job and is looking for something desperately for the summer. And also, she despises August, the grumpy male main character. She cannot refuse when she is offered an opportunity to babysit his daughter. The banter between them is absolutely delicious. If you read Done and Dusted, then you met these two characters already and you know that their banter is fucking great. It is really funny. It is close proximity, enemies to lovers. And there is a part where she asked them, "Are you offering me a mustache ride?" So good. It's so good. It's a yes for me. This one is actually a signed copy. It's a story of Rue, who is socially awkward and very shy. She's a dirty, dirty girl, and she's a bit of a freak in the bedroom. She's in one of these dating apps, and she messages this guy. They start flirting immediately, and God delivers Eli Kilgore. Unfortunately, their very first night gets interrupted by Eli. He is obsessed at this point. He basically realizes that she is his dream girl right away, and is devastated that they cannot finish. Thankfully, they run into each other the very next day when turns out he is the finance bro that is taking over the company that she works for. The banter is top tier. The spice is top tier. Is Ali Hazelwood probably some of her best work? It is a yes for me. Jules and Will are getting married, and Jules and Will only care about Jules and Will. So they decide that they're going to drag their entire family to a remote island for privacy. And it's not any island. It's an island that is like known for like all this wicked, creepy stories. Everything is going fine until a body is found. Like anything for Lucy Foley, it is written absolutely perfect. It is written in multiple character POVs and it will keep you guessing as to who did it until the very end. It is a yes for me. Absolutely love this story. I love everything Abby Jimenez writes, but this story is magical. This is the story of Sloane, whose fiance passed away, and she has been grieving for a very long time. Her fiance was a very special guy, so she thought he was endgame for her. She's been depressed, she hasn't cooked, she hasn't taken care of herself, she hasn't even painted, which is her hobby and what she did for a living. She cannot find any sort of inspiration. One day, she is on her way to her fiance's grave and she sees a golden blur pass by in front of her car. Like every single Avi Jimenez book, there's always a special animal character, and this is a beautiful dog that is lost. Thankfully, the dog has a collar, so she's able to contact the owner. The owner does not answer the phone. She decides to take the dog home until the owner answers the phone, and she finds that the dog gives her purpose. She's not doing things for someone else. She's leaving the house, she's going for walks. Like the dog is giving her life. After 2 weeks, she receives a call from the owner. Turns out the owner left the dog with an ex girlfriend because he is in Australia working. She tells him that she's going to keep the dog until he comes back, and they start texting and then later talking on the phone. Their relationship quickly grows and they kind of start flirting a little bit. He tells her he is a musician, but they don't share details right away. When they finally meet in person, the attraction is immediate. And that's when she realizes that he's not any musician. He is actually someone really famous, that she's very familiar with his music. There is a particular sentence that she says at some point in the book that I'm going to read to you, and possibly the reason why I enjoy this book so much. As he had never met the best version of me, and for some reason, he still seemed to want to be here. I was a ghost, wandering the rooms of a museum of the person I used to be. And Jason was like one of the living who could somehow see me and decided to wander the place with me. I like that he was willing to wander the place with me. My heart. My fucking heart. It is an absolute yes for me. Anything that Abby Jimenez writes is so beautiful, realistic. You fall in love with the characters. This is a beautiful story. It's a yes for me. I have another book rec, but I'm not going to tell you what this book is about other than tell you that this is fantasy romance. A lot of people have told me that this book is too long. They don't know if they should actually tackle it. So I have to tell you this. I cannot give you the premise of the book because if I do, I have to ruin it for you and I don't want to. This is possibly one of the best fantasy romances I've read in a very long time. Top tier. This is Fourth Wing Worth. This is Avatar Worth. This is a great book. The premise of the book is like no other. The world building is fantastic. I love that you jump right into the world. The author is able to create this world as she's telling you the story. So there is not a lot of just world building chapters. Story starts right away. Because I love romance, I can tell you that this is heavy on the romance. It is heavy on the action. It is heavy on a very, very strong female main character. Those possibly are my favorite things in the world when it comes to a romantic book. I really, really enjoy this book. I enjoy the love story so much. There is also a love story of friendship in this book that is beautiful, and there's dragons. Do not get intimidated by the fact that the author took the time to write about 20 pages explaining the meaning of different words. She did like a little dictionary here. Do not allow that to intimidate yourself reading this book. I read it without looking at the glossary. I just went into the story. There is nothing in the story that you will not understand without memorizing that glossary. That's another thing that people have mentioned. While you're reading it, you'll understand what these new words are. The glossary is there for those of you that may want like specifics of what a word is, but you don't have to go back and forth looking up these words to be able to understand what's happening. I'm telling you, it is such a beautiful story and I am obsessed with it. The book was a 5-star read for me and I am desperately waiting for book 2. Those are the book recs that I have. I'm going to do another video here shortly showing you a bunch of special editions, collector's editions, and very limited editions that I have in the shop. If you have any questions about the book recs today, just send me a message. I'll be happy to respond to them. We're doing a giveaway today. We're giving away stuff with every single order. I just cannot wait to see you live. I'll see you later. Bye.